Alright, welcome back, and it's time to take a look at the new big trophy artillery. Now, this vehicle, I actually did play it quite a while. Didn't really manage to get a lot of good battles with it, primarily because of my bad luck, but this vehicle is actually very fun. I do like this artillery, primarily because it's able to launch, it's able to fire AP shells and heat shells, which we'll come to in a moment, but the primary cannon is a 152mm BOOMstick. It's a very big cannon. It's an artillery cannon. The top speed is good. Reverse speed is horrendous. Classic for this vehicle, or should I say, based on the whole, you know, kind of a T-72 vehicle, T-72 tank. So it looks like it has that chassis, but it has no armor. That's the main thing. When it comes to armor, well, you know the armor is bad when the cannon has the best armor. 40mm, the thickest part, pretty much the cannon at the front. But the rest of the vehicle is pretty paper. Has a very huge turret. You can pretty much live in that turret, that's how big it is. And it has to be big because it's an artillery and has a lot of shells inside. So one hit to the turret and boom, a huge explosion. So definitely cannot rely on the armor on this vehicle. And when it comes to the X-ray, it doesn't have any composite armor, doesn't have any of that. Pretty much classic armor. You can see the interior, and here you can take a look at the ammo stored at the back of the cannon. There should be an autoloader, 7.5 second reload, and you can, as I mentioned before, launch AP shells and heat shells, which is very good because this is the first time a artillery does get to do that, and it is very useful for if you have a vehicle on the side. Not the best performing AP or heat ammo, but honestly having that option is incredible. Especially the AP ammo, because it's APHEBC, the explosive AP ammo. So if you manage to sneak that shell into an enemy vehicle, boom, there is a very little chance that it will survive. It's a huge caliber, and it will simply do a devastating amount of damage if it penetrates. Now, let me show the ammo. You have two high explosive options, you have the heat option, you have the APHEBC option, and you have a close proximity artillery shell, HEVT. My combination usually is the high explosive with the highest TNT value, and I have APHEBC on this vehicle also because I love AP explosive AP ammo, and this can be very useful because within the tier you will find vehicles that you can penetrate. So that's honestly a extremely useful thing to have on this artillery. So let's take this thing for a ride and let's see how it will perform. Now, the turret rotation speed is very slow. It takes 8 business days to actually rotate the turret on this thing, so turret rotation speed very slow. Reverse speed is very slow. You have to actually position yourself that your forward gear is your escape. You definitely do not try to reverse back into safety with this thing because it's not going to end well because of the very slow reverse speed. Now, when it comes to the overall damage that you will be doing with this thing, that's on the good side. High explosive is able to overpressure a lot of things. AP ammo is going to penetrate a lot of vehicles as well. However, the shell velocity of the AP ammo isn't the fastest. After all, this is not really a cannon designed for AP shells, but you have an option. Because this is an artillery cannon, the overall shell velocity will be a little bit lower, and you will have to aim a little bit higher in order to compensate for that. But honestly, when it penetrates, it will do a devastating amount of damage with the AP ammo. Heat, I actually tried to use heat a little bit, and I didn't really have good results with it. The overall damage that heat does on this vehicle isn't really what I would consider good. I just prefer the AP ammo, less penetration, but if it does penetrate, it does more damage. So that's the reason why I'm actually using AP over heat. I mean, it's kind of a obvious thing to do. If you have AP ammo option, use AP over heat, especially with volumetric and the way the game works on and the way the game handles overall shell physics. You know, heat while can penetrate. In this game, penetration doesn't exactly equal to a destroyed vehicle, so AP ammo is definitely the safest bet on this vehicle besides high explosive. You can use dual high explosive combination as well if you like, that also works, but in my case a combination of AP and high explosive is what's going to get the job done. As I mentioned before, overpressuring vehicles is pretty easy. This is a Yak Tiger, which has a weak spot on top, and yeah, there it is. You hit there and boom, overpressured, just like that. So definitely a very powerful cannon, very powerful shell. 11.87 kilograms of TNT, not the highest amount of TNT that we have seen, but at the same time honestly not lowest. I did say that this might be the best artillery, primarily because of the ammo, not because of the high explosive amount or the TNT or stuff like that, but the fact that you get AP ammo, AP shells means that you can guarantee that you can destroy a vehicle in one hit in certain occasions where high explosive will fail. Let's say you have a vehicle on your side. If you shoot high explosive, you might not destroy it in a single hit, but AP will penetrate and AP will simply just destroy whatever it hits and whatever it penetrates actually, because a very big AP, explosive AP shell means if it goes in, it will just cause absolute devastation inside the vehicle. And I did have my fair share of using AP so far. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. You just have to aim a bit more accurate with it. Not the highest accuracy, but it gets the job done. And I'm not going to complain too much about the accuracy of AP shells on an artillery. It's an artillery after all, but it's good to know that it is going to get the job done. So T10A, and that's the first shell, was high explosive to immobilize. That's what I initially planned to do. Second shell should have destroyed it. It didn't. I don't know how that T10A is alive. Should have been destroyed. It didn't get destroyed. And yeah, if I go out now in reverse, I'm going to get blown up. And this is a thing I have a problem with this vehicle, the reverse speed. The reverse is horrendous. I don't know why they're so damn slow in reverse. This would have been such a good vehicle if it had like a 20 km per hour, 13 km per hour reverse, and that would be enough for me. That would be enough for me. But yeah, the worst aspect of this vehicle is absolutely the reverse speed. It's just terrible. And we have a tortoise, one single hit at the cupola, boom, overpressured. So you want to aim at the weak spots with this vehicle. Very easy to do. Sometimes it just doesn't want to do anything, even though it should do something. In this case, it didn't do anything. It should have done that. It should have destroyed that T10A. When I get hit there by a artillery, I get blown up. When I hit that spot with something that's not an artillery, nothing happens. Oh, how consistently inconsistent this game is. That's War Thunder for you. The PC version and the mobile version, they're all about the same when it comes to trolling aspect. That's a fact. Anyway, let's see if something else pops up. We are on 6 destroyed vehicles. Not my best, highest record with this, but not too bad. I mean, I'll take it. I had a monster battle with the Merkava a couple days ago. 17 destroyed vehicles. That was just terrifying how I won that. That was just scary how I won that battle. That was absolutely crazy. The whole enemy team got just at the end just deleted. And I get this bomber again, the worst bomber in the game. I almost never get the other two. Well, I guess it's time to move a little bit forward. So overall, My experience with this vehicle is overall overly positive, I would say. I definitely had fun using it, had fun driving it. Will definitely drive it a lot more. I mean, I have a bunch of vehicles that I want to play, and playing all of them is a bit difficult, especially if you have. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing because so many vehicles, and I don't know which one I want to play first. I mean, I'm good with some vehicles, I'm not good with other vehicles. It goes both ways, honestly, which is fine, I would say. I could be good with this vehicle if I had a little bit more luck with it, but that's fine. So, this artillery boomstick is definitely on the more interesting side. If you like to use AP shells, definitely going to be a vehicle that you'll be enjoying, and I'm honestly very interested to see how will they do. How will they actually pull off the future artilleries? Because there's definitely going to be more. There's going to be a lot more artilleries in the game at one point. So I definitely want to see what other things and other surprises we will get to see in the game. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe. As always, I'll see you next time.